we must have a piece of this land. We cannot boast in all of these material things of hiring, jewelry, foreign whips, but we don't have no land to produce and to develop on. And this is what keeps us so far behind in the race of development, in the race of producing for ourselves. If we are not seeking out to own a piece of this land so that we could grow our own food, so that we could clothe ourselves and shelter ourselves, then we are remaining in the position of being a beggar people. We have all these other nationals that come from all these other places in the world. And they come here and they get a piece of this land. While we, the natives here, are slaves on our own land. Just because we are not in physical shackles don't mean we are not slaves on our own land. We are slave consumers. Because economically, we still rely on our former slave masters' children to provide for us, to feed us, to clothe us. Instead of us coming together so that we could purchase land to do these things for ourselves, the only thing we could come together in is spending money to give it back to our slave masters' children. We could afford all of these luxurious things that just look nice temporarily, but fail to feed ourselves. And this pandemic of the coronavirus has brought it face on, so we cannot reject it. Where do we get our water from? We don't have our own apparatuses where we could provide fresh, clean water for ourselves, or we could capture the moisture from the air to produce water for us. Instead, we just consumers. Where do we get our food from? We don't grow our own food, our own vegetables. Instead, we buy them from the same ones that poison the food streams. And then as we just sit on the sideline and speculate on all of the genetic modified foods and what's good and what's not, but yet we don't grow nothing of our own. But we just try to weed through the poisonous food that the former slave master provided us. And that is not living. Earth is spacious. We have to have a part of this land. If we are to be our own, if we are to provide for ourselves, if we are to truly show love for our brethren, for our children, if we truly love ourselves, then we have to reach the level to see that we have to provide for ourselves. We cannot allow others to dress us, because when they do, they're going to dress our women in the skimpiest garbs. We cannot allow them to feed us, because when they do, they're going to feed us nothing less than foods to kill us. So let us get up and do for ourselves. We have everything it takes. If we are the big consumers, then it's not that we don't have money. It's because we lack a plan. We lack organization. So join up with us and let us better organize. Join up with those closest to you and better organize. If you're a member of a church, force them to better organize. Instead of just putting in your money in a collection plate that goes towards you don't know what. I don't know what. But what we do know is not going towards self-independence. We know that your money in the collection plate is not going towards a farm where your church feeds itself and is now endeavoring to feed others. And we've been putting money in the collection plate for over 30 years. Our grandparents was doing it. And we still don't have the means to provide for ourselves. but we have a nice decorated church that we can't go to if we was put out our own homes. Let us rise up and do for ourselves. Let us get a piece of this land.